team.
Okay, so here's the latest uplink from the Science Operations Center at NASA Ames. Familiarize yourself with Site 6 using air photo. In fact, we did look at them.
The Ames science team has sent a marked-up photo of a place simply called Site 6, indicating their interest in a rock wall outcrop that borders a narrow valley. Within hours, the Habitat crew heads out to explore Site 6 using real-time remote-controlled robots. Had their low-budget radios reached all the way into this valley, they could have done the driving from inside the habitat. But now they just have to pretend they're in the hab, where of course they wouldn't have to wear spacesuits.
What we're trying to do here is prevent the operators that are going to be operating these robots from actually seeing the site, and so limit their perspective to what the robot sees.
Okay, drive straight forward.
At the controls is Carol Stoker, a NASA researcher and Mars Society member who has spent nearly 2 decades developing strategies for exploring other planets with robots.
We have gone to the coordinate they specified, and we have plopped down, and sure enough, the outcrop that they asked us to go look at and sample is sitting right next to where we plopped down, and I turn on the eyes of the robot, and boom, the outcrop is right there. No muss, no fuss, no searching required.
Carol moves the robot up to the rock outcrop to see if she can spot any layered materials that might contain signs of past or present life.
Focus.
The robot cameras don't spot any obvious signs of life. So now it's time to move on to the next objective, collecting a rock sample.
It looks like there's
stuff in the water.
Yeah, there's green stuff.
Really interesting.
Go peek at that rock there.
You're up close to it, all right.
You're there you go. Now close it.
Oh man, we've got it! Oh, that is awesome! Sample of a rock from Mars. We got to take this rock.
There you
I'm
go.
sorry, but
is that it? Okay, let's
we
just
have got to
souvenir rock.
collect this rock.
Carol, he dropped it. Go get it.
All right. I'm going back after it. The advantage of these teleoperated robots is that even though they aren't anywhere near as efficient as a human would be, once they're in the field, you effectively have infinite time with them. These kind of tools you can sit and have and teleoperate them for 12, 16 hours. It wouldn't, really be any big deal at all. We're bringing the sample into the airlock now.
You can't do that. We'll all die from the Andromeda strain.
It's the last morning of the simulation, and the crew plans to finish their Site 6 experiment.
Juice for breakfast.
Well, it's my hot shower for the day.
Hazelnut cream-filled wafer cubes.
So the next step beyond sending the rovers out to these sites is to go on an EVA in spacesuits to explore it as astronaut geologists and see what we can determine with the constraints of suits being there only a limited time because the amount of air in our backpacks is limited, our mobility is limited, our vision is limited by the helmet, and so forth.
You got air?
Got air.
And the question is, how much more can we learn as human astronaut geologists rather than robot astronaut geologists?
We're building on that reconnaissance made yesterday, and we're going to see what humans can see and how much more they can do.
Women and children first.
By the end of today, the story of Site 6 will be a condensed version of how scientists imagine exploring the real Mars. First, machines controlled from Earth got images of the site. Then real-time telerobots added to the knowledge of Site 6. And now the full power of the human senses will take in all there is to see and learn.
You can see the tracks of the robot. That's the last time we saw it.
Right, here's my track.
Almost instantly, Carol Stoker spots something very significant that she never saw with the robot's camera.
What I noticed quite quickly once we got back to the outcrop was that on one side of it there was a lot of orange lichen. We didn't see that telerobotically at all.
One of the key systems on the human being is the ability to analyze what is being seen, to make sense of it, to put it together. You see something bright and orange on top of a rock, but hidden away. You can almost immediately tell whether it's life or mineral.
We saw this clear evidence of life that the robot missed just because we had this mobility.
Just a few hundred yards up the hill, the crew finds something else they hadn't seen with their telerobots.